Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our September 26th Town Council meeting. I'm going to talk real slow for a second. Go through the emergency evacuation. In the event of an emergency, 2 doors to your left or this door in the front of the hall, we would meet across the street at the school administration building and await further instructions. With that, if we could all stand for a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence for our men and women serving in harm's way. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible. Thank you all. I do want to remind everyone we are streaming the meeting tonight. For those of you that are participating remotely, if you're dialing in on your phone, *9 will indicate you have a question. *6 will allow you to mute and unmute your phone. If you're on the Zoom, there is an icon for you to raise your hand. That'll indicate to us that you have a question. Anybody that will be participating remotely or in person tonight, if you come up to speak, please state your name and address for the town clerk. And we will begin with our roll call.
Ms. Ujifuza?
Here.
Ms. Abbott? Here. Mr. Hamilton?
Good evening.
Mr. Katzman?
Here.
Mr. Kelly?
Here.
Dr. Ryan?
Here.
Mr. Aguiar?
Here. Okay. I do not have anything to update with the president's executive summary. So we'll move right into our consent agenda.
Move to receive and place on file.
Second. No. Move to approve as presented.
Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Thank you.
You're at the end of the meeting already.
I know, seriously. Move to approve as presented.
Thank you, sir. Second.
All those in favor?
Ms. Ujifuza?
Aye.
Ms. Abbott?
Aye.
Mr. Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Katzman?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Aguiar?
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Next, we have minutes from our September 12th meeting, along with the executive minutes.
Move to approve.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Ms. Ujifuza?
Aye.
Ms. Abbott?
Aye.
Mr. Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Katzman?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Aguiar?
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Next, we have request approval of tax vouchers. It's 2022-09-26-01 to 2022-09-26-3.
Move to approve.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Ms. Ujifuza?
Aye.
Ms. Abbott?
Aye.
Mr. Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Katzman?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Aguiar?
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Next, we have our town administrator's report. Mr. Rayner.
Mr. President, Town Council, ladies and gentlemen. With respect to the Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Master Plan, our consultant is wrapping up his outreach and coordination meetings with various stakeholders. Parallel to that, he is developing a summary of all the outreach findings and a National Recreation and Parks Association standards comparison, and we'll meet with the project team this week. After the project team meeting, our consultant will develop the content and approach for a second public workshop, after which the draft master plan will be produced for your review. With respect to curbside collection and the operation of the transfer station update, as you're aware, our contract for the operation of the Headley Street transfer station expires next June 30th. A request for proposals was issued for curbside collection on August 10th. We have received responses to the RFP and will present a comparison of the anticipated cost to continue operations at the transfer station versus curbside service at the next council meeting on October 11th. The information to be discussed at the next meeting is available on our website via a link under the news and announcement section of the opening page, or directly via the transfer station and solid waste page of the website. I was asked to give an update with regard to the senior center. As you may recall, Church Community Housing Corporation received master plan approval from the planning board for a comprehensive permit application to construct a new senior center and over 50 affordable housing units while restoring the Ann Hutchinson School, which will include 6 market rate residential units. The planning board granted the master plan approval on June 8th. Church Community then presented the entire application and schematic designs to the design review board on Monday, August 29th. The design review board secretary compiled the comments made at this meeting, and the town planner forwarded that to Church Community Housing representatives on September 19th. Church Community is now working on working to submit their preliminary plan application to the planning board. They had targeted to be docketed on the October 12th planning board meeting, but staff has not yet received plans. Thus, we now anticipate a November 9th hearing. I can confirm that Church Community Housing is firming up these detailed engineering plans and closely working with the fire department in regard to fire access, maneuverability, and phasing. Additionally, the project engineer is finalizing the stormwater report, which is a major component of a preliminary plan. The planner expects to receive the preliminary application from Church Community any day now. Just a reminder that the town hall will be closed on Monday, October 10th in observance of Columbus Day. The council meeting that week will be held therefore on Tuesday, October 11th. I was also asked to give an update with regard to the community electricity aggregation plan. Our community electricity aggregation program is set to launch next May. This is the culmination of a multi-year effort, including the communities of Barrington, Central Falls, Newport, Portsmouth, Providence, and South Kingstown, all working together with an electricity aggregator known as Good Energy. After a competitive bidding process, the group selected NextEra Energy Services as its electricity supplier. Final pricing will be announced about 2 months in advance of the launch in March of 2023 via community-wide outreach and education initiative. When the program launches, customers using last resort service from Rhode Island Energy, formerly known as National Grid, those customers will be eligible for automatic enrollment in the new CEA, Community Electricity Aggregation Program. Customers will be provided with an opportunity to opt out before the program starts, and if enrolled, will be able to leave the program at any time without penalty. Rhode Island Energy will continue to deliver electricity, respond to outages, and manage all billing. Customers who participate in the programs will continue to receive a single electricity bill, but will see a change in the bill's supply section. More information is available via the business development page of our website or by visiting goodenergy.com. And then lastly, just a reminder that the police awards ceremony, the annual police awards ceremony, will be held this week, Thursday at 6 p.m. at Glen Manor House. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Rayner. Okay. Moving on to old business. First item under old business is a request approval of the Glen Manor House exclusive catering and management agreement with Russell Morin Catering and Events. Also includes dissolving the Glen Manor House Authority. Mr. Rayner.
Yes, we've been working on this for the better part of 2 years now. The current full-time manager of Glen Manor House operations and the caretaker will retire at the end of their current contract on December 31st. A working group consisting of staff, the town solicitor, hired legal counsel, the chair of the Glen Manor House Authority, and the full-time manager of Glen Manor House operations have negotiated a contract with Marin's Incorporated, doing business as Russell Morin Catering and Events, for your approval. Duties and responsibilities previously assigned to the Glen Manor House Authority as defined by their bylaws are addressed in detail by this contract between Russell Morin Catering Events and the town. The management role of Glen Manor House Authority is obviated and no longer required. In agreement with the chair of the Glen Manor House Authority, I recommend that the Glen Manor House Authority be dissolved. The goal of preserving the Glen Manor House for the enjoyment of current and future generations of Portsmouth residents is common to the Friends of the Glen Manor House, a nonprofit organization known as the Friends. Current voting members of Glen Manor House Authority may continue their involvement and interest in the Glen Manor House through the Friends. With respect to the contract, I'll run you through the highlights. The contract would commence on January 1st of 2023. It's a 5-year contract with an option to extend for another 5 years. That option would also include the ability to renegotiate the terms of the annual payment and the commissions. There is in the contract a $180,000 a year annual exclusivity fee to be paid by the town. Russell Marin Catering Events will hire a live-in caretaker to oversee the operation, maintenance, upkeep, security, and cleanliness of the venue. Russell Marin will also contribute $30,000 annually to the Glen Manor Capital Fund. Additionally, Russell Marin Catering Events will annually pay the town a food and beverage commission on gross sales of food and beverage. They will also contribute a cumulative total of $30,000 of in-kind event and catering services to mutually agreed upon community events, not to exceed 5 such events per year. Those events are the Mistletoe Madness Ball, the Christmas Open House, the Summer Pops Concert, the Police Awards and Banquet, and the Friends Annual Social. Additionally, Russell Marin Catering Events will pay for utilities. The current resident managers also agree to cooperate with and have been cooperating with the town to assist in the transition. Renovations to the living quarters will commence the first week of January. Russell Marin Catering Events will provide quarterly financial statements, which shall contain a detailed accounting and reporting of all receipts and revenues and commissions. They also agree to have the grounds of the venue open to the public Monday through Thursday from sunrise to sunset, and on other days when no events are scheduled. And then lastly, the town and Russell Marin Catering Events shall convene a meeting at least quarterly with a mutually agreed upon agenda to discuss the progress of this agreement. So, Mr. President, we present this to you for your approval, and I recommend the ratification of this contract between Russell Marin Catering and Events and the town of Portsmouth.
Thank you, Mr. Rayner. Do we have any questions from councilors at this time?
Just one specifically. I want to make sure I heard Mr. Rayner correctly when you stated Russell Marin will be paying the town $180,000 a year. We won't be paying them.
That is correct.
Okay. I think I heard it the other way. Okay. Sorry.
They may have heard it that way too. I think that was.
This is why we do things in writing. Thank you, Mr. President. First, I want to thank Mr. Rayner. I know, and all of the staff, and I know a lot of people put a lot of effort into this. I specifically asked for a copy of this contract about a month ago to review and provide comments, and those comments were well received. I'm glad to see a lot of it reflected here, as well as some other improvements. The contract provides for quarterly payments. I'm sorry, quarterly financial reports. When would the annual payment be made? Is there a time? I don't see a timing on it.
Yeah, it's made in installments of $15,000.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a what is it called? I don't want to say royalty. That's the wrong word. Commission.
Commissions.
Thank you. Which is based on a percentage of sales. Bear with me a moment. I can pull up.
Page 7.
6.
Yeah. So a fixed amount monthly. Sales may be more or less. So I'm just, how is that commission fee paid?
I mean, we vision that it would be monitored quarterly, and then there will be an annual payment paid at the end of each fiscal or each year of this contract. So it would be
Oh, okay. At the end of each year of the contract.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to know, annually makes sense in the sense of it has to be at least once a year, but I didn't see, and I could have glossed over it specifically when in the year. So if it's after that.
It's actually in the last paragraph, the last sentence of a paragraph right before the commission. It says commission percentage shall be based on the aggregate gross sales made on an annual calendar year basis.
Right, it still doesn't say when the payment is made. That's just the accounting, but that's okay.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you want to, it's still insert a specific date in the month of January following the end of each calendar year. That would be the most reasonable. I
I'm
think.
fine with doing that with the caveat that I don't want to perturb the text if it's going to compromise the ability to get this completed tonight. Because I think the contract is a good one.
I mean, I think all parties understood clearly that it was an annual payment based on a calendar year. We would be truing it up and we'll know what the payments are going to be when we get to that fourth quarter. Just as long as it's done by the end of the calendar year, I think we're fine.
I mean, no, it's more important that it gets done before the end of the fiscal year. That's
In our fiscal
right.
year.
Since
right.
their dates are January to January.
Right.
You got a month and a half, 2 months to figure out what their annual sales were, and then they cut a check. But further up, you see that it's $15,000 a month
Right.
for the 180.
And that's fine. Thank you.
Mr. President, I would be remiss if I did not thank Katie and Don Wilkinson for their unbelievable service over these many years. And I believe I also have to say that in a future meeting, we'll have a more formal thank you. And also the past and present members of the Glen Manor House Authority, including the current chair, Karen Menezes, have been working on helping us maintain the Glen Manor House and do such amazing events as also members of the Friends. And want to thank you all for all your service over these years. And I'm hopeful that those of you who wish to continue will be able to do so as members of the Friends of Glen Manor House, a 501c3, that would allow you to continue to help shape what happens at the Glen Manor House. So thank you so much.
Further questions from counselors at this point? Okay. Any questions online? Nothing online? Okay. All right. Okay. Do we have any?
May I make a motion to approve the contract as presented?
And follow Mr. Rayner's recommendation that the committee is.
I think you do that in a second motion.
Oh, I see.
I think that.
Yeah.
I think it would be most appropriate just to do it two separate motions.
I would.
All right. So we have a motion to approve the contract. Second. All those in favor?
Ms. Jukusa?
Aye.
Ms. Abbott?
Aye.
Mr. Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Katzman?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Aguilar?
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. And on to the second.
A motion to dissolve the Glen Manor House Authority.
Second.
All those in favor?
Ms. Jukusa?
Aye.
Ms. Abbott?
Aye.
Mr. Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Katzman?
With my thanks for the years of service for all of those on the authority. Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Aguilar?
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you all. Okay. Oh,
Hi, Karen Menezes, 271 Ferry Landing Circle. I would first of all like to thank Mr. Rayner for his leadership of the committee that went through all of this. It was an amazing experience. It gave me a lot more respect for what you guys do. I would also like to thank the town council. Mostly, I would like to thank the Glen Manor House Authority, who has worked diligently for years, keeping this building moving forward and keeping it clean and committed and just an amazing facility. But mostly, I want to thank Don and Katie, who have been for 30 years taking care of this place. And so from the authority, from the chair, thank you, Katie.
let's move on to our next item, which is under new business. It's a request approval of the Beta Pavement Management Service and Reinspection Contract. Before we begin, I will be recusing myself from this item and turning over to Vice President, Mr. Ujufuza.
Vice Chair,
Yes,
Madam, and members of the council. So this is we do this every 3 years. We do our assessment of our roadways. So this is a proposal for Beta Engineering to reassess all our roadways again, come up with our 3-year capital improvement plan for the town. And so I just want to ask the council to request the approval of the $27,000 for Beta Engineering for the pavement management service and re-inspections.
So moved. Second. And this just comes out of the road paving budget, or is this a separate line item in here?
We break out our road paving. We take $100,000 out of our road maintenance, and then we have the paving program. So this is going to come out of my road maintenance program. Like, same pot of money, but yeah.
So we have a motion and second.
I did not.
Okay, so we have a motion and second. All in favor?
Ms. Abbott? Aye. Mr. Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Katzman?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ryan?
Aye.
Ms. Ujufuza?
Aye.
Thank you.
So the motion passes 6-0 and with one
Abstention.
recusal. And maybe we want to bring him back.
It's okay. Okay, I was recused.
Yes, yes. On to correspondence.
On to correspondence.
Move to receive and place on file.
Second. All those in favor?
Ms. Ujufuza?
Aye.
Ms. Abbott? Aye. Mr. Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Katzman?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Aguirre?
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Next, we have future meetings, October 11th. Again, that's a Tuesday evening, followed by October 24th, and then November 14th. Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Ms. Ujufuza?
Aye.
Ms. Abbott? Aye. Mr. Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Katzman?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Aguirre?
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you all,
Thank
and
you.
we will see you on the 11th. That's going to be a big